Hello everyone. I'm Anushri Kulkarni, studying in class 6. From early age, I had a great fascination of stars and was very keen to learn how the solar system and the universe existed. With that in mind, I started gathering information about this topic. This is my first YouTube video, which is my first try to make this subject more interesting and understandable. If I commit any mistake unintentionally in my videos, please help me to correct them with your valid inputs in the comment section. Welcome to my channel, Life Beyond the Sky. Universe. Now when we talk about universe, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? Dark matter with luminous celestial bodies. But is that only the universe? In this video, we will explore the universe, the galaxies, the solar system, the constellations, and the much more night fascination. Welcome to the world of mysteries. The universe. The universe started from a Big Bang, which we call the Big Bang Theory. A big explosion took place something about 13.8 billion years ago. The universe is expanding like a balloon day by day. This is our universe. It is so large that it may take thousands of years to explore it. Every year it spreads slowly. The universe takes in the Earth and its moon, the Sun and the solar system, the Milky Way and the other galaxies which we know and which are not discovered yet. More of the same. There might be other parallel universe which experts call multiverse. The galaxies. Our Milky Way is a spiral galaxy. It is a flat with a bulge at the center and arms that circle outwards. Scientists believe that there are 1 lakh billion stars in the Milky Way, but more of them could be there. Our solar system is a tiny part of the Milky Way galaxy. Our solar system. The solar system is an immediate neighborhood in space. Our sun, the planets, the natural satellites, the asteroid, and the Kuiper belt, all these constitute the solar system. Do you know? Our solar system was formed 4.6 billion years ago. It is so old. Formation of the solar system. Scientists believe that a giant cloud of dust and gas called the nebula appeared moving in the space something about 4.6 billion years ago. It then cooled and gained fast spinning. 8 balls of different shape and sizes were separated from the nebula. The remaining central mass of the nebula changed into a star known as the Sun, and the other 8 balls into planets. Satellites were formed when small balls separated from the central mass were attracted by their companion planets. Life cycle of a star. A nebula is seen to be formed before the birth of a star. The nebula then changes into a protostar. Protostar is a young star which is still gathering mass from its parent molecular cloud. Depending on the mass of the protostar, it can change into a medium-sized star like the Sun or a giant star like the Rigel. Star like the Sun, after billions of years, when it consumes all of its fuel, turns into a red giant. Then it undergoes its last stage of evolution, which is planetary nebula. It is the expanding or glowing of a star, and then turns into a white dwarf. But with the case of a giant-sized star Rigel, it turns into a red supergiant and then undergoes a supernova, which is the powerful and luminous stellar explosion. Supernova can lead to the formation of black holes or to the formation of neutron star. Neutron star is the collapsed core of a massive supergiant. The Sun. Our Sun is the nearest star to our Earth. It is the center of our solar system. It is a massive ball of burning gas. Without it, our planet would be lifeless. Long live Sun. The Sun was born 5 billion years ago. It burns 4 billion tons of fuel each second. It is so big that it will continue to burn for another 5 billion years. It takes the Sun's heat a total of 8 minutes to reach the Earth. Solar eclipse. What is a solar eclipse? Solar eclipse occurs when the moon passes between the Sun and the Earth. This stops the Sun's light from reaching the Earth. Solar eclipse is also known as a temporary night during day. You are lucky if you see a total solar eclipse. You need to wait hundreds of years to see a total solar eclipse at the same place. In ancient times, people used to believe that the solar eclipse was the curse of God. Here's how the theory of the solar eclipse works. The planets. Mercury, the closest planet to the Sun and far smaller than Earth. Mercury has blistering hot days but freezing nights. The nights get cold because Mercury has no atmosphere to trap Sun's heat. In Roman mythology, Mercury was the messenger to the gods. Its orbital period is 88 days and rotational period is 59 days. It is the first planet from the increasing order from the Sun. Two space probes were also launched, which were the Messenger and the Mariner. Mercury is little big than Earth's moon. It is made up of mainly silicate and metallic metal, 30% of silicate and 70% of metallic metal. Mercury has no moons. The morning star, Venus. Venus is the brightest planet in our solar system. It can be seen in the early morning or early evening sky, because of which it is also called the morning star. It is seen near the west horizon. Venus is named after the Roman god of love. It takes 223 days to orbit around the Sun and 243 days to rotate on its axis. Venus spins in opposite direction to Earth. That means sunrise would be seen from west to east. Earth. Our home planet Earth is the third rock from the Sun. It is capable of bearing life due to its appropriate distance from the Sun and presence of water on its surface. Earth's atmosphere has mainly oxygen and nitrogen present in it. It takes 365.4 days to orbit the Sun and 24 hours to rotate on its axis. It also has its natural satellite, which is the Moon. It looks like a bright green and blue ball from the space. Moon. Earth's only natural satellite, Moon, may have formed 4.6 billion years ago, when a planet just the size of Mars may have collided our Earth. It takes 27 days to orbit our Earth and the same to spin on its own axis. Tide control. Due to Moon's gravity, oceans on our Earth have high tides and low tides. There were many missions sent to Moon for exploring it, including the Apollo 11 mission and the Chandrayaan mission. Eclipse. Lunar eclipse. When Earth comes between the Sun and the Moon, it stops the light from reaching the Moon. This is called lunar eclipse. Lunar eclipse mainly occurs during full moon day. It happens due to Earth's and Moon's rotation as well as revolution. This is how a lunar eclipse occurs. Mars. Mars, also known as the red planet, is the fourth rock from the Sun. Due to its red surface, it is commonly known as the red planet. Its name came from the Roman god of war because of its red color, which reminded of the blood. It takes 1.88 years to orbit the Sun and 24 hours to rotate on its axis. It has two known moons, Phobos and Deimos. They are the asteroids which orbit Mars due to its gravity. Phobos and Deimos. Phobos, which means fear in Greek, is 28 km by 20 km, which is 17 miles by 12 miles. Deimos, which means terror in Greek, is 16 km by 12 km, that is 10 miles by 7 miles. The two moons were discovered in 1877. They are so tiny that astronomers think that they were asteroids pulled by Mars' gravity. Asteroid belt. It lies between Mars and Jupiter. It has millions of asteroids which orbit the Sun because of Sun's gravity. Every year, some of the asteroids keep hitting the planet. Other celestial bodies in the space. Asteroids. They are the rocky space objects that orbit around the Sun. They can be a few feet wide to several hundred miles wide. The death of the dinosaurs also happened because of a very big asteroid. Meteoroids. They are the little chunks of rock and debris in space. They become meteoroids or shooting stars when they fall through Earth's atmosphere. Most of them break up in the atmosphere before they can strike Earth's surface as meteoroids, so we have no danger from them. Comets. They are the small bodies with a head and long luminous tail. They are made up of dust and frozen gases. They appear in the sky after a long period. Halley's Comet appears in the sky after every 76 years of interval. This year also, a beautiful comet known as the Neowise Comet shined the whole sky. Jupiter, the king planet. It is the largest planet in the solar system. It is also known as the king of all planets. Jupiter is a gas giant mainly made up of hydrogen. It takes 11 years to orbit the Sun and 9 hours 50 minutes to rotate on its axis. This planet was observed by Galileo in 1610. Jupiter has 63 known moons. 4 of them are Europa, Ganymede, Io, and Callisto. Now let's explore Jupiter's moon. Europa. It has an icy surface with crisscrossed with lines. Its diameter is 3,130 km. Ganymede. It has a molten core surrounded by a rocky mantle. Diameter 5,268 km. It is larger than Pluto, but it is not a planet because it does not orbit the Sun. Io. It constantly undergoes volcanic eruption on its surface. Its diameter is 3,643 kilometers. Callisto. It is very dark and dirty icy crust is covered with craters. The largest crater is Valhalla that spreads its shock waves some 3,000 kilometers. Its diameter is 4,806 kilometers. My favorite planet, the Saturn. The Saturn is the second largest planet in our solar system. It is named after the Roman god of agriculture. It has a beautiful ring system. Saturn's rings is made up of dust and ice. It takes 84 years to orbit the Sun and 10 hours 14 minutes to rotate on its axis. High winds on Earth are very light on Saturn. It is also a gas giant just like Jupiter. It is made up of mainly hydrogen and helium. A spacecraft known as Cassini was also launched to explore this beautiful planet. Uranus. Uranus was discovered in the year 1781 by William Herschel. It was known as the Roman god of heaven, Uranus. It takes 165 years to orbit the Sun and 17 hours to rotate on its axis. Titania and Miranda are two of the moons of Uranus. Uranus has 13 rings. It is halfway tilted. Experts believe that the tilt of Uranus must have occurred while the formation of the planet. A celestial body from outer space may have struck it. Blue planet Neptune. A blue planet Neptune is named after the Roman god of sea. It was discovered in the year 1846. It is a very cold planet. It takes 165 years to orbit the Sun and 16 hours 7 minutes to rotate on its axis. Neptune has 13 known moons. Its largest moon is Triton. It is bitterly cold and has a heavily pitted surface as well as active volcano eruption. It also has a ring system which is very faint. Neptune has a great dark spot which is known to be a hole in the methane cloud deck of Neptune. Neptune was the only planet which was mathematically invented or discovered. Pluto. Pluto is the last planet in our solar system. However, in 2006, the planet was decided to be no longer as a planet but instead a dwarf planet, as it does not follow the rule to be a planet. It was discovered in 1930. Pluto is made up of frozen nitrogen, methane, and carbon monoxide. It has three known moons, namely Nix, Hydra, and Charon. There are many other dwarf planets such as Eris, Sirius, and many more could be there. It takes 248 Earth years to orbit the Sun and 6 days, 9 hours, and 36 minutes to rotate on its axis. Now, why Pluto is a dwarf planet? Because Pluto has not cleared its path. It is smaller than the asteroid. It orbits with a tilt, and it should not be a satellite. Now you must be thinking how Pluto is a satellite. Pluto and another dwarf planet Sirius revolve around each other, which also makes a confusion to distinguish them into dwarf planet and a planet. The Kuiper belt, which is also called the outer solar system. It lies between Neptune and the outer space. Pluto is also part of the Kuiper belt. Kuiper belt is slightly larger than the asteroid belt. Many of the dwarf planets such as Eris, Sirius, and many others lie in this Kuiper belt. Auroras. What are auroras? Auroras are caused by collision between fast-moving particles, which are electrons from space, and the oxygen and nitrogen gas in our atmosphere. These electrons originate in the magnetosphere, the region of space controlled by Earth's magnetic field. Auroras are mainly seen in the northern and southern hemispheres of the planets. Constellations. Constellations are a group of stars which form a specific diagram in the night sky. They were useful in ancient times for showing directions, time, and etc. The constellation in this picture is Orion, which is a hunter with bow and arrow. Imagine it. Some of the other constellations: Taurus, and this is Ursa Minor and Ursa Major. The night fascination. For witnessing the night fascination, you need a telescope, a compass, and a book for information. Many planets, constellations, as well as few stars can be seen in the night sky. Jupiter and Venus are the brightest planets which are visible from Earth. The ancient saints were very intelligent in the study of space. Nowadays, we have huge telescopes for the night fascination. But is this only the end of our universe? Our galaxy is situated in the local galactic supercluster. What is a supercluster? A supercluster is a large group of smaller galaxies. The local galactic supercluster lies in even big supercluster called the Virgo supercluster. Scientists assume of the being of such 200 billion superclusters and even more in our universe. So we are just a tiny dot. Here's a picture of it. Thank you for watching my video.